Go.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Blue Jays Today.
Damn it, who said it again?
We got producer Pat back with us today. Hello, Pat.
I'm sorry, everyone. I'm sorry. I really gave that one a good go. I thought I would play the music.
I think what's funnier about that, and you guys didn't see this, but behind the camera, like for the last 10 minutes, we were going through it basically, and talking through exactly what button to press. So. Yeah,
It's
okay. It's Friday, guys. It's the weekend now. So Pat, producer Pat's on the weekend as well, folks. So here we are, the Wine on Wine. Welcome in, everybody. I'm your host, Nicholas Playalog.
Yeah. And I'm your host, Adam Paddle.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, we're slow start.
I don't know. I thought I already said it, but I guess I didn't. But hello, everybody. This is the Wine on Wine, and the title of this video is Blue Jays are elite again? Jansen is hot. That's so that we can get more keywords in there. Throwing in Jansen is hot.
Right.
But yeah, the Blue Jays have had a crazy couple of games. 2 games. They've scored 14 runs in those 2 games. 7 on average. All with Danny Jansen's 3 home runs, Vladdy's 2 home runs, a Springer dinger. Yeah, it's been awesome. Tell me how you guys are feeling about the elite Blue Jays.
Well, I'm skeptical off the top to immediately say exclamation point on that. That's why we put the question mark in there. Blue Jays are elite again? Question mark. Because obviously this is 2 games, very shortened sample size. Yeah, we're picking up W's right now. We're looking really good in the offense and smacking a lot of home runs and doing everything that we're supposed to do. But there was an anemic period there of 2 to 3 weeks where nothing was going our way. So it's going to take a few more games for me to get that exclamation point locked in and say, we are elite again. But this is a very good start.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just going to say, too, a lot of this production has come from literally one guy named Danny Jansen. So it's not like we flipped a switch and all the bats are hot again. This is kind of just the one dude.
Yeah, I mean, there was, obviously... I will say Bo had a nice 2-out RBI double. Springer has had a homer. Vladdy's been hitting with the ball.
Vladdy with 2 homers.
2 homers.
So that's something we need to get him going again.
And Teoscar hasn't really. He was in lineup on was it Tuesday? Yeah, it was Tuesday at St. Louis. But then he was in the lineup yesterday. So honestly, kind of good. You need to give him a little bit of a rest.
Yeah, Tio's got to rediscover what's going on with Teoscar Hernandez. Kind of similarly to what they've done with the Lord, where they gave him a few days off. I'm hoping that Lord gets slotted back in right now. Maybe Tio gets the bench for a little bit just to circulate and think about what it is that we're doing wrong right now, reevaluate our approach. Hopefully Lord comes back, he can be good. But yeah, obviously Danny Jansen is the big name to write about right now. And
should we be moving him up in the lineup? Would you guys? Because he was batting 7 yesterday.
7 or 8. Might have been 8th, I think.
No, I don't think so.
Because do you think you should bat over Chapman?
Probably, but I'm also, I hear what you're saying, but I think we've done a lot of lineup moving around and everything like that very recently.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it's working right now. So we're picking up W's right now. I don't know if, Danny Jansen's been doing all of this down there.
And you don't want maybe you don't want to give him okay, now you're higher in the lineup, do something different, because sometimes it's a mental thing. If you get moved up in a lineup, you feel like you have to do more because you're in that spot, you're facing more RBI situations, so it's a mental thing. So sometimes keeping people down on the bottom of the lineup can actually be beneficial for their mental game.
Potentially so. I'm going to take a quick moment just to shout out everybody in the chat right now.
Woo-hoo!
Eric, what's up? Michael Bunting for Heart, what's good? Cameraman Eric, Kevin Bay, Lindsay Ivan. Oh my God, hi Nick, I'm a big fan. Shout out. Everybody go check out Lindsay Ivan's YouTube channel. It is far bigger and superior to ours, but definitely go look at that. NP Leader Winter, what's good? Susanna, Rasha, Dulkermist, hello,
what's up,
everybody.
Guys? Rasha's asking the question. Also, guys, this is the Wine on Wine, so throw your questions in the chat in capital letters, because we're going to be talking about some stuff with the Blue Jays, so we want to go back and find those questions, so go ask away. Rasha's asking right now, are you guys going live for the stream tonight? And we are not. It is going to be a late stream.
It is just, the boys have their limits. It's been a long work week for us as well, and starting at, 9:30, 10?
9:38, I think.
9:38. So at minimum, we're going to till 12:30 at minimum.
Yeah.
Probably
later.
O'clock, though.
Yeah, I think I was the only person that was watching the end of that game. I don't know how far you guys got into that one. I think I was the last man standing.
I actually didn't even start because I knew that then I'd be bought in. So I was just like, it's better to just stay away.
Yeah.
And like, I was looking at stats on my phone, but I wasn't like actively watching.
I had to pull away. Like I once especially when I pulled away and I was like, Vladdy this, Jansen that. I'm like, no. I wanted to go back, but I'm like, no. I'm trying.
I wasn't sure if you were asleep yet. I'm like, oh, when he wakes up, he's gonna love this.
I saw your text, but I was like, like I'm half asleep. I'm like, I can't reply.
Yeah. No, agreed, guys. Agreed. But either way, do we think, gentlemen, that the big deciding factor that's changed things, it's not the lineup, it's not anything, it has to be the dirty hands. Now, I'm asking you guys, do you remember Danny Jansen prior to last All-Star break? Now, the reason I say that...
No, do I know?
Okay, hold up, wait, let me finish. Before last All-Star. Because was he doing his hands dirty back then?
No. He had the batting gloves on, yeah.
And
he would occasionally take them off like mid-game for certain at-bats. Then he would put them back on when he was running.
It's like he was experimenting, you know? I get the running thing because you want the sliding of the hands and everything.
And then was it after, do we know for sure that after the All-Star break is
you're talking to the witness right here.
I saw it with my own eyes.
Okay, so you've seen it then. So everybody, listen up right now, everybody. Patrick's going to let us know what changed Danny Jansen and why, since last All-Star break, he's actually ranked second in all of MLB players in OPS.
Crazy.
Yeah, it literally is just the dirty hands. I remember I was at the game. It was against the Orioles. It was a Danny and Hunjin reunion. I was going to say Ryu, but I wanted to say reunion.
Oh, yeah. Well,
because he never used to wear the batting gloves, like way back when he first came up, right? Do you guys remember that?
Yeah,
he never
I
used to
remember
wear
that.
them. Then he started wearing them because he was getting blisters for a little bit there.
Okay, and that was the big deciding factor. Because since that point in time, since that All-Star break, he's just behind, I think it's Taylor Ward, for OPS since that period of time. That short sample size on both these guys, like we're looking at minimum 100 plate appearances. And he's just behind that, and he's ahead of, at number 3rd, I think it's Bryce Harper, number 4 is Mike Trout, and number 5 is Juan Soto.
Better than all those guys.
Yeah, since the post-last All-Star break. So you have Danny Jansen and Ward ahead of literally 3 MVP candidates year in and year out.
Pat, do you have his stats?
I was looking for them earlier. I'm gonna try and find.
Okay, give it a look. Give it a look. That's honestly crazy to me. It's not going to continue. It's really exciting. Yeah. It's really exciting, guys. But okay, I want him to be elite. Like, it's okay to still be batting like an 850 OPS over the course of a season. Like, of course it's okay. Yeah. You're a catcher, right? But like, I don't see this being like a 1.2 OPS season for Danny Jansen. If it is, then F me up. Yeah. Like this. Like, I'm sorry. What do we do with Moreno? Like, we have to keep Jansen.
Like at the end
we
of
have
the
to
day,
keep Jansen now.
I love Alejandro Kirk, and I'm very excited for Gabriel Moreno. But if Danny Jansen wins MVP, what am I gonna do with that?
He makes the all. Dude, who's gonna like? I know there's Salvador Perez in catcher position for the AL, but like if he's hitting this hot all the way to the All-Star break, he's making the team.
100%.
He's making the team.
As long as he gets the playing time, he's going to make the team, man. And literally being ahead of 3 MVP candidates every single season is impressive. And also considering that Bryce Harper actually won MVP last year.
Yeah.
And this guy still performed better after the All-Star game.
All I'm hearing is Danny Jansen MVP.
That is kind of the consensus right
13
now.
games.
It does seem like that is what it's going to be.
Games.
But it's also, too, like last season as well. There was more games last season.
It was, yeah.
So
it's hard for me to combine those.
It's more than that.
I can't find the actual graphic that had them all, but...
Oh, okay, no worries. But it's elite. It's so elite. And also shout out Taylor Ward. Like, that guy's elite. I have him in a fantasy league.
Yeah, and he's
pretty
very
good.
Clearly, like, doing extremely well right now. So shout out all of those guys. We were talking a little bit about that lineup and about what we can do to improve it. Adam was suggesting maybe moving Danny up. I don't think that that's necessarily the right move right now, but...
What?
Patrick's laughing. Nothing. Continue, please.
Okay.
What?
Yeah, what
nothing.
is it?
I literally looked at me and laughed.
Yeah.
I was like, what is it? I'm calling you out.
Are you on drugs right now?
Yeah, nothing.
Are you on drugs?
No, I'm on the alcohol.
What is wrong with you?
What is going on with you today,
Patrick?
Patrick?
I don't know why I'm being called out today. I literally was just like giggling on something completely separate. I don't even know what I was giggling at.
Okay. That's all you just said.
All right. Anyways, back to what we were doing. baseball
pinpointed here.
What's happening? Jeez, ever since we got in here and you didn't hit the fucking music, it's been a train wreck so far.
Oh, I've just been plowed all day secretly.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, what I was going to say was, or what I was going to prompt, is right now in AAA, we have some really hot hitters doing some really hot, really good things.
Get the stats.
And
please.
we have some questions already, and we're going to answer those very soon about trading those guys away and, like potentially getting some
we
other
can get
guys.
into that.
And we'll absolutely get into that. But first thing, before we even talk about giving any of these guys up, I think it's important to think about maybe bringing them up to the team right now and thinking to ourselves, hey, could these guys do some work for the Toronto Blue Jays as they are today, considering our lineup has had some woes?
Yeah.
The guy that I'm talking about specifically is Jordan Groshans. Pat Stats, what's he doing?
Jordan Groshans so far is batting .381 with a .903 OPS in AAA.
Wow. How many games?
That is through 19 games,
Okay.
63 at-bats, 78 plate appearances.
Wow.
That is pretty damn good.
That's pretty good.
381 right now is the key statistic for me.
Yeah,
for a
that's
team
huge.
That is having a very hard time hitting with runners in scoring position.
Right,
You have
right.
a pretty damn good chance when you have a guy hitting 38% of that
13
time.
RBIs in 19 games.
That is pretty nice.
Wow. I mean, okay. So what do you do? Do you call him up? Because where does he play? Does he play every day? Like, what are we gonna do with him?
Who's our bench guy right
Biggio now.
Oh no,
Biggio.
you're
It was
thinking
Cato,
of.
but now it's Biggio.
Oh yeah,
They
no,
said
I thought you were thinking of Vinny Capra. Yeah,
That's what I'm thinking of. Yeah.
Yeah.
now? Okay, but it's not Capra, it's Biggio.
It's Biggio now.
It's Biggio right now. And
Yeah.
I think, are we all in agreement, or do we all feel that Kevin Biggio is deserving of a roster spot right now?
He deserves a shot.
Yeah, he deserves it. We literally talked about bringing this guy up last week, and we did, and he's been one
He's
game,
up. Well, he's at one game, but
yeah.
he didn't get ahead. He was
No,
doing Kevin Biggio
No,
crap.
he was doing the usual. I'm gonna stare at some strikes and not swing.
Ugh.
Yeah.
So at what point do we need to say, like, that the usual is not good enough? Like, the usual, we've
Well,
had enough. of the
here's
usual.
my thing.
I'm actually
here's
so
my
fucking
thing.
sick and tired of the usual. I just want to put that out
Oh,
there.
yeah. No, I get it. I'm
like,
tired of it, too.
Kevin
I'm
Biggio
tired
is
of it,
probably
too.
the most frustrating player to me, even
Yeah.
more so than, like, some of the other... Like, there's guys on this team that frustrate me a fuckload, but, like, Kevin Biggio especially is so frustrating.
Okay. But here's the thing, though. Regardless of whether or not you're frustrated with Kevin Biggio, I think you got to give Jordan Groshans more than 13 games in AAA before we can say that he's ready to come up to the big leagues.
Yeah, you're right.
You know, like as bad as Kevin Biggio is, do we really want to rush this guy's development and call him up this early just because we're so sick and tired of Kevin Biggio?
So
Yeah, no, you're right, you're right.
I agree with that, but then that begs the question: what is the correct time? Then what is the number of games of Kevin
I would
Biggio
say-
doing the usual and Jordan Groshans doing the phenomenal to be like, let's switch?
At the bare minimum, I would need to see 30 games from Jordan Groshans in AAA.
Right.
Which would be a little over a month at the bare minimum.
I would say I'm gonna need like around All-Star break. Plus, guys, it doesn't have to be a 1-for-1. Kevin
So another
Biggio
2.5
and
months.
Groshans. Like, there's a guy on this team, and I think the reason why he's here is because we have to DFA him. And please, someone correct me in the chat. Is Bradley Zimmer? Like, why can't
What
we
is
give?
Bradley Zimmer
Can we?
doing?
Because
Yeah.
Biggio can play outfield. We have Toppy on the
Yeah.
bench. Who gives a who gives a damn about Bradley Zimmer?
I actually don't know who you're talking about. Are you talking about Waluigi?
Well, yeah,
Waluigi?
dude, this man looks like Waluigi.
Evil
Look at
Mario?
a picture of Waluigi,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
Bradley.
Has
Zimmer's
anybody
batting
seen them in the
stats.
same room?
Waluigi was always the most annoying one.
Yeah.
Too, and that is kind of what Bradley Zimmer is.
His
to
head
me.
doesn't belong on his body.
Yeah, no. Okay, and, like, to finish my thought here, boys, it's like you have Bradley Zimmer and Biggio. Which one would you rather have on the team? Biggio, right? As much as annoying as he is, he at least has some upside. He can play lots of positions, right?
I thought he was strong defensively at first yesterday.
Well, there you go. He can play some first.
We're gonna
and-
play strong defense around
Strong
the field.
defensively
Had 2
for
plays.
2 innings.
I mean, it's a stark contrast between what Bo was doing last night and what Kevin was doing last night.
Well, I mean, Kevin plays first. It's different than Shore.
Oh, but he was fielding balls though from first very well. Yeah.
No, that's fair. That's fair. But regardless, it's like, let's get rid of Bradley Zimmer. Like, it was a fun experiment, Ross Atkins, but
We already got one of them, and his name is Tilapia.
We got Tilapia. That's our outfielder. And
then
Biggio can play outfield.
That's the thing.
Who
Biggio
cares?
can do outfield now, and now Jordan Groshans can do the infield.
Can come up.
Yeah.
So
he can do the infield.
so for me, if that's the route you want to keep Kevin Biggio, like, I honestly, like, next month.
Okay. So
If he's popping off, Jordan Groshans, like, why don't? And we're trying to win now. why not? It's like you're gonna hope he hits better
So
than
let's
like
think this
117, whatever Bradley Zimmer's hitting
Let's
right now.
cover all our bases then. So that would mean that our outfield spot would be covered by Kevin Biggio and Tapia. We would have third and short. And I guess can Groshans play second?
Yeah, I think
Probably,
so, yeah.
and he can also play short and
And then
center.
that would leave just Gurriel to
Yeah.
cover the backup first base spot as well. Then am I correct?
And Biggio could do it
and
too.
Biggio as well.
Yeah, it's all fine.
I think
Like,
we've covered all our bases. Then.
Bradley Zimmer, the only asset he has is he can play really good outfield.
Right.
Yeah.
But I've seen him mess up a couple times, but who doesn't mess up? But that's it. I mean, I'm okay to get rid of that for a potential prospect guy in the future, Jordan Groshans.
Right.
Like, and then he could realistically he could play like 70% of games, right? Tapia does it, Zimmer does it. Like he could still play a lot of games.
So let's keep an eye on it then. Let's say end of June, mid July.
Around the All-Star break,
We'll
we'll look back and see, is he still doing well? What's Zimmer doing? Is he gonna go? I'm down for it. Like, let's win baseball
I'm down for it.
games.
Here,
Guys,
sorry, continue.
Guys, let us know your questions in the chat down below. We have a question coming in here. A few people are asking for this one right now, and we have we got a few in here, but one from H Willem 36, and it's also like we got a bunch of people saying like, what would you trade for this guy? But basically, H William 26 coming in here and saying, would you trade Elvis Martinez, Jordan Groshans, and Nate Pearson for Juan Soto? And then a bunch of other people in this chat asking us, what would you trade for Juan Soto?
Mm-hmm.
So first off, we'll get into what would we trade, but if the Nationals were to offer you up right now, picture it, it's Yahoo Fantasy, you got the trade in your inbox, it's Elvis Martinez, Jordan Groshans, and Nate Pearson, and you're getting back Juan Soto. Do you hit the accept button?
Yeah. I mean, I kind of have to. It's like Elvis hasn't seen the field. Like, Juan Soto, in my opinion, this is why it makes sense, is Juan Soto is a generational type of player. Just absolutely phenomenal. Like, Jordan Groshans and Elvis Martinez could be elites. They could be elites. But we haven't seen it yet. That's just a potential. Nate Pearson, I'm almost ready to give up on him at one point. Like, he's a bullpen guy at best for me, an elite bullpen guy at this point, right? Because our starting rotation is full. So for me, it's like, let's trade away these guys who we haven't really seen or not contributing to the big league roster for a guy who'll be generational. And we have him for, I think, 3 more years. Hey, we could sign him back even. Who knows? Like, that's just, you want that. You want that.
What do you think, Patrick? You do that trade?
Absolutely. Again, thinking about the absolute ceiling of these guys, none of their ceilings are Juan Soto. They will not be Juan Soto.
They will not be Juan
period.
Soto.
So,
I do
trade's not
tend to
happening.
agree with that. It's just if we were to get something like that, the only way that we lose is if literally Nate money. Yeah, Patrick's doing the money thing right here.
Right.
Fair enough. But the only way that we lose is I think that you basically have Nate Pearson become a Cy Young. And one of Elvis Martinez or Jordan Groshans becomes a Hall of Famer, and then maybe I guess we lose that trade. But what is the likelihood that 3 guys that have never touched the major league field, even though they have really good prospect pedigree, are going to become Hall of Famers and Cy Youngs? It's pretty damn unlikely.
Right.
You would basically Elvis Martinez would basically have to become Yadier Molina in order for this to be a loss, basically.
Or Elvis Martinez, the second base shortstop guy, or third base. For me, it's
You'd have
his
to be
upside.
a Hall of Famer is going to play 18 years for this franchise.
Right. For me, in the NHL, they have medium elites or whatever. I think Elvis Martinez is a medium elite. I think his ceiling, you could see him win a few Silver Sluggers in his career, a few All-Star games. That's what I see his
ceiling.
That's his ceiling.
Right.
I don't see it being like Juan Soto.
That's what I mean. The other thing too, these guys aren't going to play their entire careers for us. We're not going to be able to keep all these guys.
No.
That's what I mean. So if we lose, it's because this guy becomes a Hall of Fame and plays his entire career with one team.
And who cares? And honestly, let me throw this out too. And you guys talking about losing, but just from a winning standpoint, who cares about if we lost it? If Juan Soto comes over here and brings us and helps us to hit a few home runs in the World Series,
I will say that as well, right? If we can find a way to acquire Juan Soto without giving up a single one of our current people on our roster right now, then the entire we're laughing, and the entire mentality of this team has just shifted to we have to win in these 3 years.
There is
no excuses. We actually have to win because after those 3 years, we are going to be
Yeah,
fucked.
Soto, Vlad, both would be off the books.
They're
gone.
It's like at the end of the day, and maybe you get to keep one of them.
Yeah.
Maybe. But it's like we have to win in the next 3 years if we made a trade like that.
Yeah, and I do realistically think that it's going to take someone who is on a current MLB roster to make that trade happen, which also makes me think that the trade probably will not happen.
Right.
Well, it's not
for
going
a
to
long time.
happen.
No, for anybody, not even just for us, but like for anybody.
Yeah.
Like everyone's talking about trading for fucking Juan Soto, and it's like, well, guys, they're not going to do it.
Think about when we were rebuilding, right? Like, who did we at least needed to have guys to sell jerseys? You know, you have to be able to pump up some guys on your everyday roster that people want to come see. And if you're giving them no starters, what the hell is the point in watching them?
You give if you literally trade Juan Soto, like there will be people rioting.
No one will watch that team play baseball. You'll have no sales.
Yeah.
I actually, and then frankly, from a Washington Nationals standpoint, I just don't think that they should do that. Their main goal right now should be to give this guy as much money as he wants
100%.
for the entirety of the time, and then just pray to God by the time he's like 28, you built a team around him somehow. And he's still a lead, and you can win World Series.
That's the way you got to do it. I mean, you also got to convince Juan Soto to stay here. You gotta say, like, because the reason why us Blue Jays, well, we haven't signed our boys back, but the reason why we're able to get all these free agents in is because we showed them, hey, this is the formula. We've built this core. Now we're gonna add these. Now we're gonna add these pieces, which are you. We're gonna add this guy. We're gonna add this guy. We're gonna trade for this guy. They came.
The only way that you get Juan Soto to stay where he is right now is you need to, as a manager, first off, pay him $500 million. And then also show him a concrete 5-year plan as to how it is that we are going to rebuild this team, where this is exactly what we're going to do year in and year out. And then by the time you're 27 years old, we're going to have pieces and going to be competitive again.
Yeah, they're gonna need to, man. I mean, think about how fast the Blue Jays rebuilt. It was amazing.
Yeah, it was pretty phenomenal.
Like literally, think about when the boys, like 17, 18, we were bad. Brought the boys up 19, it's still bad. 2021, it's like 21 we're competitive again. Now we're competitive. It's like, and we still got 3 years with our young guys. It's amazing. Yeah. It's amazing. You need to do it. Do it, Washington.
Agreed.
How have we only made the playoffs once with these guys? That's crazy.
And it was in a shortened season, and we got swept.
Yeah.
Well, that's how baseball works, man, or sports.
That is
The Dallas Cowboys.
That's different, though. The Dallas Cowboys play in the weakest division and make it every year, you know?
Yeah, we play in the hardest division. Yeah. Go us.
Go us.
Ryan Stone coming here with another trade question. I love that we're getting to these now because, like, it is becoming that time, guys. We're about, what are we, a month away? A month and a half away?
Month and a half.
Month and a half away.
Oh, I mean, 2 months, actually.
2 months, wow.
A month and a half before the hype starts coming.
Right, for the real hype.
Yeah.
Ryan Stone, though, asking, would you want to trade for another pitcher? And we can break that down into a bunch of different questions. So, like, we'll start off with another starting pitcher, and then we can move over to bullpen, because I think I know what our answer is going to be for that one. Would you guys want to trade for another starting pitcher on the Toronto Blue Jays?
No. Doesn't really make sense.
No, I don't think so either.
There's no, like, unless there's a major injury, like, Ryu, done for the season. Okay, yeah, we'll go trade for something.
And, like, we have our backup starter.
Yeah, Stripling. Could be even Nate Pearson when he comes back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, okay, we have backups. You know what I mean? Like, so, no. I'm off it. I'm off it this year. Nope. Last year, yes, we freaking needed it. We got them all.
Yeah,
we got them all. We got the rotation.
I think that it is, like, I'm pretty sure that we can now say that if we have Kevin Gausman and Alek Manoah, and this is a big if, but Jose Barrios needs to figure it out, make sure that he's consistent and locked in. If he can do that, then I think that with our other two guys who are a little bit questionable, and Kikuchi and Ryu, and they don't always come with their best stuff, but they can be, definitely serviceable. This should be a rotation that can go on to win a World Series.
100%.
Hoping that Barrios can do what he's got.
That's the thing. Even if Barrios is bad, like, he's gonna start every single game for the rest of the year. Like, I don't see there's no way they're benching him or taking another rotation.
No.
So it's like we got it.
It'd have to be so bad for that to
happen. It'd have to be every game you're giving up like 8-9 runs.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, what are you gonna do? It'd have to be like consecutive for like a month or and a half.
100%.
Just look at the leash they've given to Ryu.
Exactly. Big. They're not, and they made it clear they're not gonna put him in the bullpen. So okay, so he's not going to the bullpen. You're not going to put Kikuchi in the bullpen. Yeah. You're not going to put Barrios in the. You're going to put Alec. You're not going to put Gus. It's locked. That's the rotation now.
Yep.
So we can't. There's no sense going out and getting another elite arm or even like a nothing arm. Like, and that's why we got to go get a bullpen guy. That's the only upgrade to the pitching staff.
Yeah.
Is
So I feel like the question was always meant to be bullpen, but
right.
Any ideas? Who do you think we should target?
Well,
Great question.
research. Still got to do research. We're definitely going to be making a lot of podcasts on it, guys. 100,000% because we need it. But we need someone who is a good back half guy. Honestly, a good bridge guy, too. Like, we're not going to get this guy because he's on the White Sox, but Joe Kelly, for example.
Right.
Like,
Joe
guy
Kelly.
like that.
Yeah.
He's got the fire too,
Oh,
man.
we need someone like
That
that.
dude knows how to win ball games.
Because I think that right now, I can name on one hand the guys in the bullpen that I really trust.
Yes.
And it's Romano and it's Simber.
Phelps.
And I guess Phelps. Yeah.
Yeah, Mesa.
I guess.
I mean, if you guys are saying
Yeah.
Mesa, I'm saying Garcia, but those guys are definitely question marks.
Yeah, I mean, I think that we're into
Yeah.
where there is a tier here. I'll be honest, the tier 1 is Simber and
And the
Romano.
tier break is there. We got our
That's-
setup man, we got our
Yeah,
closer.
those
locked
are the
down.
elites,
And,
right?
there's not a single other person on the roster that's at that standpoint. But then you enter tier 2, and tier 2 is Phelps and Mesa and Richards. Is Richards?
Oh,
in that?
Richards is bad now.
Yeah.
Well, if
He's
Richards
been
is bad, then Garcia is bad. I think.
That's what
Yeah,
I mean.
they have the
though,
same
like,
ERA.
they're
Yeah,
fine,
like, we're
you know,
looking at
like,
the
we're
same
talking
people.
like high threes, and it's like
What? Can we look it up? Actually, what are their ERAs
I think
right
that
now?
they're mid fours, guys.
I think they're
they're
4
mid
plus.
I
fours.
know
man.
Garcia isn't, but
Take a look.
Yeah,
I'm curious.
He was
Okay,
a while
okay,
ago,
okay.
but he might have bounced back. I could be wrong about him. I don't know.
Everyone see that?
vindication.
What?
So Jimmy's 3.71.
Okay.
You know,
I mean,
whip of
Yeah.
1.05.
okay.
I
That's
just
definitely in that
like
tier.
when I see him on the mound,
I get nervous.
I get pretty nervous
because it's either nothing or a big blow up. It's one or the other. There's no in between.
That's very fair.
I,
Yeah,
I'm not. So I think that Yimi Garcia is, I guess, doing what we thought he would do, which isn't phenomenal.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Trevor Richards is a 4.3, so
That's not good for a bullpen.
That's not great
Not
for a bullpen. Not what we
Right,
want
right.
for
Good bullpens
considering
are
that
like low
leaves us
threes.
with like 3 high leverage guys if they aren't high leverage, which is not. That
Yeah.
ain't it.
okay, so
Yeah.
Romano, Simber, and probably Mesa, and then
And Phelps.
Phelps is becoming really. He's
pretty
pretty
good.
consistent. Like, what? Let's look them
Right.
all up. Let's look them all up.
Okay,
What's
start with
Phelps up
Mesa.
to?
Yeah,
Let's
can
start
you
with
show me
Mesa.
who showed
You showed
us?
them the stats?
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I haven't been doing that. What's my 3?
Three.
3. Here we go. Okay. So let's switch back to
Yeah.
Mesa. 2.08 ERA, 1 whip. Not bad.
Yeah, I
That's
love
probably
Mesa.
better than Phelps if I had to guess.
Yeah, he is better
Yeah,
than
it's
Phelps.
better than Phelps.
Mesa's been great. He's on the aisle right now. I can't wait for him to come back.
Yeah, we do need him to come back for sure. And
No, Phelps is pretty good too. The 2.7. The whip is a bit
2.7 is
high.
good.
And David
2.7
Phelps
is
is
good.
nice. We like
And a
David
few more
Phelps,
games.
so-
19 games. So yeah.
So I think
Yeah.
that we need some guys that can come in the 6th and stuff.
Yeah. Should
That's
we
what
have
I'm
some
saying.
fun
guys
with this
that
one?
Can come in the 6th.
What you looking at? What?
Julian Merriweather.
Oh,
Like,
God.
these are the options after we get past this tier break
Exactly.
here, you know,
It's
the-
Julian. It's
Yeah.
Stripling. What's Julian?
Oh, I just looked at it. It was like 6.3. Baraki 8.4. Like that is.
Like whenever
We need
we're-
better depth.
Yeah,
We need more
but
depth.
Yeah, that is the big problem, right? Because we get down by
Yeah.
2 runs or something. We get down by 2 runs, let's say, and it's in the 6th. Well, now Montoya's in a position where he doesn't want to pitch all of his elites because we're down.
Mm-hmm.
But he also knows that, like, when you throw out Baraki and these guys, it's like,
praying. You're
it's like,
praying.
what can you expect from these losers? You know, like
Baraki is
You
like-
runs. You're expecting runs, but you have. And I hate when people get on Montoya for being like, "Why did you put Baraki in there?" It's like the situation did not call for freaking Simmer. You're gonna pitch Simmer every single
Like,
game.
I would love it if we could do that, but
Oh,
we just actually can't.
We cannot. This guy's arm will fall off. Like, guys, it's not a Montoya thing. It is a pure management needs to go make it happen. That's the one blemish. I love Ross Atkins. I love Mark Shapiro, but they haven't set the priority in the bullpen. And people like the Atlanta Braves, who aren't doing so good right now, but they did the right thing and got good bullpen pieces.
Right, okay. I see a beautiful clip right here coming. Question from Sports Strike Highlights coming in here and saying, let's
Okay.
trade for Hector Neris. Check his stats.
Okay.
Let's pull up Hector Neris' stats, and can we show people Patrick?
Yes, sir. We can. I almost called you ma'am. I don't know why I wanted to say yes, ma'am on that one. Okay, here we are. Hector Neris, 2.21 ERA.
Okay.
He's pitched 20 innings, and oh, look at that whip.
What is it?
Oh, I'm sorry. I keep forgetting that you guys don't have it up there.
0.738.
0.7.
Wow.
That is
what team's he
fantastic. Houston Astros.
See, okay,
Yeah, we're not going to get him, though. That's the problem.
Is this guy close? No, he doesn't even close games anymore.
No,
Once upon a time, I think he was supposed to be a closer for them.
Didn't he close for the Phillies?
So, yeah, he was actually the Phillies closer. So
And then
last
they
year
picked
he
him
had
up.
12. Whoops.
That was one of the guys that I wanted to get. And we didn't get.
Yeah.
Like, there's
No,
so many
we
guys
didn't
in
get
free agency. So many
This is like a
bullpen
pretty
guys.
good
We didn't
track
get 'em.
record, too, man. Like, career ERA of 3.3.
Yeah, that's phenomenal.
Yeah,
that's
like
great.
we're just not going to
and
get
the
that
problem
guy.
is, yeah, exactly. The problem is with a guy like Hector Neris is that he plays
On a team that
the
needs.
Astros.
Yeah.
And the Astros are going to be looking at the Blue Jays and thinking to themselves, well, we sure as hell don't want Hector Neris to be coming out here in the ALCS against us and shutting us down in Game 7 when we need to be scoring runs on these guys. So there's no way in hell that we're going to be playing or giving him up to the Toronto Blue Jays unless we get a crazy return, which we're not going to give them.
Like, and I'm trying to find some sort of bridge for this to make sense. Like, the only thing I see is like,
big overpay.
we have
That's what it is.
For me, it's like we have that too. We have so many bullpen guys. We have a surplus. There's just so many, but we really, really, really need a catcher. Like, they're all injured. We have no one catching his team. Can we get Kirk? We'll give you Neris. That's the only way I see it actually happening.
Right,
it has to be like, we need this.
Yeah.
We have what you need, and I have what you need.
even then, they go and talk to other people first.
Yeah, they talk to the NL. Like, that's why you see a lot of trades from NL and AL, because
100%.
they're not going to face each other. They're not going to beat each other.
Ideally, we need to, when we're targeting bullpen guys here, I love Hector Neris. I think Hector Neris would look great in a Blue Jays uniform and probably kick ass and be exactly what it is that this team needs. But we do need to be looking for guys like Hector Neris on crap ball teams.
It's going to be so hard this year. It's going to be so hard this year to figure out, too, like, who's vaccinated, who can make it over the border and stuff.
That's a
like,
whole
that's stuff that
other
we are
thing.
just not going to have access to.
I don't even try
so.
to, get into that because
How could we know? Like, we'll never know.
Yeah.
We'll never know.
Because it was only recently revealed to us that Robbie Ray, potentially a big reason why he never even got offered a contract in the first place, and why he ended up going to Seattle.
He wouldn't get vaccinated.
He just wasn't vaccinated.
Yeah.
He
So
just
it
said,
did
no,
not make sense for the
I
team.
will not. Just like, if you say no, then we literally cannot do anything.
And frankly, and maybe this is wrong to say, but I think that his vaccination status actually saved our asses.
Yes, it
Oh,
did.
big
Because
time.
his choice, I guarantee, if he was vaccinated, 1,000%, the first phone call we make is to Robbie Ray to offer him a fuckload of money. And because he wasn't, we couldn't make that phone call.
Oh, yeah.
So the first phone call that we did make was to Kevin Gausman, offering him a crap load of money.
Yeah.
And now Robbie Ray's falling apart on the freaking Seattle Mariners.
I'm glad. Kevin Gausman ended up being the right decision in the end of the day. I love it. So, thank you, Robbie. Thank you for being
you got
you.
what
I
you
don't know.
wanted, and
Yeah,
we got what we
we got what we wanted. All right.
Try the splitter next time, Robbie.
Yeah, try adding a splitter. Well, I actually, side note, I am curious before we get to the next question. I am curious, what is Robbie doing in terms of his pitch sequence? Because it was very clear last year what he did.
Yeah, I mean, all I know is he's giving up the usual 2 dingers per game. Like,
Okay.
You know?
Okay, maybe he's just giving up more than usual. He doesn't have Pete.
Yeah.
We got a cool question here from Sean McIntyre saying, what is the record at this time last year?
Good question.
Yeah, what was the record for this time last year?
Hey, you can look that up, Pat.
Yeah, we can figure that out, because I know a lot of people, and he kind of goes on to say that, a lot of people are freaking out right now, we got to relax, like, blah, blah, blah. And I do hear that.
Yeah.
And I think that, and I'm curious to know what our record was last year, because our record right now is 24-20, 25-20, is that what we are?
24-20?
24-20.
24-20 right now, which isn't bad.
That's a good record.
It's not
We're in a
bad.
playoff spot.
I mean, we're in a playoff spot, right? So
Yeah.
it's not the worst thing ever. I think what's different about this year than last year, though, is that there wasn't a team that was so dominant in the division as there is right now.
Like the New York Yankees.
The New York Yankees.
Yeah. Oh, you're right. That is the difference. Last year was very neck and neck.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody was neck and neck.
Yeah, and at this time, too, I think the New York Yankees were
third. I think they were third and we were fourth. We were actually kind of flip-flopping a little bit.
Yeah, for quite a while there. They weren't doing that good.
But you got Pat.
Yeah. Is that math right? 44 games we've played now?
Yeah.
So last year, this time we were 23 and 21. So we're doing one game better than we did last year.
One game better. 23 and 21 last year, 24 and 20 this year.
Okay.
So by that logic, if everything remains the same, we make playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally by the one game.
By
that
the
we're
one
currently
game.
Yeah.
I think honestly we're gonna do a very similar story to what happened last year. We're gonna have a surge because last year it's the reverse problem. You know, we had a great offense, bad pitching. I think what's gonna happen. Well, obviously this year we've seen great pitching, bad offense. Now where the offense is gonna get better. And I think there's even a chance to be even better than we were last year in the second half because if we go out and we make trades, the only trades that we can make logistically are getting bullpen pieces. Yeah. That's it.
Could you imagine if something happens to Romano or Simber?
Yeah, we're done.
We're done.
If and I'm knocking on the wood, if something happens to Romano and Simber, we're toast.
Yeah. Romano
and
Simber? No.
Yeah, both.
I said one or the other, but imagine if both of them. That'd be game over. Yeah,
we're done. There are a few key players. I also think that you could argue the same thing if Manoah or Gosman goes down.
Yeah,
like
that's
pretty bad.
Too.
Like
that'll hurt.
Just the swing from a Manoah start to a Stripling start is so drastic.
What did you guys? I never asked you guys this actually. What did you think about them not letting Charlie not letting Manoah come back out for the 9th the other day?
I know Adam was.
It was like 86 pitches, which I was 83. That's pretty
I have a
low.
follow-up
I would have
question.
given him the start, but I get it. You want to put
He's never
Romano
had a chance
in.
yet. Yeah.
But yeah, you didn't get a chance to talk about
Okay,
this.
so follow-up question on this one. So last night I think Ryu was at 65 pitches, and they didn't put him back out. Only let him go 5 innings. Was that the right choice?
65.
See, I'll be honest. I
didn't watch it.
Yeah, speculate because I didn't see that one, man.
I think he had 6 hits. He had allowed over 5 innings, 1 or 2 walks, 2 earned runs.
Was it the middle of the lineup coming up?
That is a good question.
Because if it is, and it looks like they were fucking like handling them. Again, I didn't watch it really that hard.
I did start to see like he might have been starting. I think it was the 4th inning he started to give up a couple runs.
Okay,
It's just very interesting the leashes they've been on so far. Like they're really not letting them go too far unless your name is Kevin Gosman.
That's all of baseball, man. Like,
that's
unless
what I
you're
meant.
like
Yeah, that's
so
what I meant,
trustworthy, like Kevin Gosman or Alec Manoah, even though he went 8, that's still like he went 8. You know what I mean?
Very rarely do people even go that far these days, man. Like it doesn't happen.
Yeah, and for me, maybe it's a bit of a baseball fan kind of thing. Like I still would let my guy who's only thrown 83 pitches go at least start the 9th, like they did with Rios.
Like for me, I guess, but I'm also like I'm not butthurt about it because we're also, I guess we're not even factoring in that you have maybe the second best closer in baseball sitting there on the bench, like ready to go.
Oh, I didn't see that. Del Carmes.
Oh yeah. I just read it too. Go ahead.
Yeah, Ryu pulled for mild injury, tightness in the forearm or elbow.
Crap.
God damn it!
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
he's finally doing well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
3 consistent starts in a row is better than we
I
used
know.
to.
I know. You're right. I laugh because I'm just like I thought about the scenario of like if that same thing happened to Manoah, I'm like, oh no. But then it's Rio, so I'm like, I'm like, okay.
I mean, either way, we're gonna need this guy to pitch innings. So
yeah,
I guess, but
again, Ryu to Stripling.
Yeah, the swing from Ryu to Stripling is
like
not
kind of the
very
same.
hard,
I see what you're saying,
whereas, like
but-
Manoah to Stripling is pretty.
Dude,
drastic.
Ryu to Stripling might be kind of maybe.
But then again, what about Stripling to our next? Who's our next long reliever then after Stripling?
No, yeah, you're right.
Trent Thornton, but he's gone now, which was stupid, actually, which was dumb. Take him out, he was doing good, so
Yeah, we can bring him back up, can't we?
probably. But,
Yeah.
I mean, that was dumb. There was another question coming in here. Everybody's starting to get on the trades.
Yeah.
But, sorry, what were you?
I was gonna say shout out Jordan N. Says sup boys. That's a Patreon
Shout
member.
out Jordan, how's it going, man? Who asked the question? It was. Oh yes, Mike F. And I've actually been seeing this a lot in articles. Like analysts are coming out and throwing this name around, and we can break it down and we'll talk about it. I want to know what you guys think about this. The fans would love it, is basically what Mike's saying. And a lot of people, like the analysts, have also agreed on that. But for an offensive boost, Joey Votto to come in and play on the Toronto Blue Jays.
Because I know he wasn't doing that well when we faced him. So he
I'll
can't be doing
pull
that
him
much
up.
better
We'll
anyways.
find out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pull up his numbers.
I'm not that sure that's quite the offensive boost.
Yeah, it's not really.
think it's
Check out
going
his
to be.
WAR. Check out his OPS plus. That's what
Like I think it could be if he bounces back, does what he did last year.
Yeah.
'Cause last year he was phenomenal.
phenomenally.
Last year was phenomenal.
I'll let you guys have a look here.
But this guy so far it's not been great.
Negative 0.8 WAR so far. OPS 584. Now he might be doing better in the last couple weeks, but
not
I'm not a
this
big
season.
fan of the bringing up the 38-year-olds towards the end. Like, it doesn't really fit the MO of our team, you know.
Like from a fan standpoint, super cool. Like Canadian boy, bring him home for his
now
last
we got a
season.
strictly first
potentially.
baseman.
But like no.
No.
I also think too that Joey Votto, like, don't you want to retire a Red? Like, wouldn't you want to be?
Or I mean, another question: do you want to retire a Blue Jay as a Canadian?
Maybe, I guess. Yeah, that's Joey.
That's
Joey's
up to Joey,
prerogative,
what
I
does he
guess.
want?
But, I mean, personally, tough to say, but yeah, he's got quite a legacy there. I don't know if they'd even be. Well, they'd probably be willing to trade him.
It's such a risky proposition, man.
it's
Like
like a weird.
the
thing
drop
to-
off can come for anyone in this age, and it's looking like it's
100%.
happening, you know. Like
it
we were already
absolutely
nervous
does.
around here, you know, between that 2019, that 768 OPS, and the year after batting 226. Like that was already starting to get a little
Yeah,
hairy.
last year felt like an anomaly.
It was a renaissance here for sure.
Yeah, it's like he was like, oh
Yeah.
my god.
Let's be
this is
honest,
amazing.
you know,
Yeah.
they stopped the sticky stuff, and the pitchers were struggling a little bit.
Yeah.
Now the balls are dead, and now
That's
you know.
true. He did blow up. He did blow up once it stopped. So I mean, yeah. For me, it's a pretty obvious no.
It just doesn't feel like I like the fact that he could play first base and help out in that regard, but I just don't think that it is the offensive boost
No.
that we're looking for unless he does come out in the next 3 weeks or so and just completely pops off and turns around the season.
Yeah.
And then maybe we can revisit this.
For me, the only reason why we're talking about this is because he's Canadian. If he
Yeah.
wasn't Canadian, I think we would not give a crap.
Of course
He'd
not,
just be
no.
like any other 38-year-old who had a random year
Is
last
that how we
year.
want to build our team around?
Just nationality.
Canadians, the Don Cherry effect. We only want Canadians on these rosters.
Yeah, like no, you know, like so. For me, it's like, well, if we went on first baseman, just go get Josh Bell.
Yeah.
Just go. We already made a good podcast on it, guys. Check it out.
Yeah,
But
at the end
go
of the
get
day,
Josh Bell.
would be better suited to
Yeah.
the squad than Joey Votto. I
Yeah.
think at this current moment.
Yeah.
Again, unless Joey Votto decides I'm gonna be freaking nuts.
Shout out to 2019 Josh Bell that I traded Nick for.
Oh.
In fantasy.
That was because that was when he wasn't like that good.
No, well, I mean, like he was obviously off to a great start.
He was off to a good start, but at that point, like we were like, who
was
could
Josh
You got to
Bell?
hear this trade, guys. Like this trade was hilarious. So
Okay,
let
let's
me
hear it.
break
Let's
down this
hear it.
trade for you. So if I remember it correctly, it was you gave me Josh Bell, yes, Manny Grandal, and I think Paul DeYoung was the shortstop in that deal. And I gave you.
different. So I gave
No?
you.
Okay. What was it?
So I was acquiring. I remember I was acquiring Carlos Correa, Mike Moustakas. I was acquiring Carlos Correa, Mike Moustakas, Yadier Molina, and Chris Davis.
No. That was the Bregman trade.
Yeah.
That was a different trade. That was in the same trade. Because that trade, I got Trey Mancini from you in that trade. So I got Bregman and Mancini. And I got Ross Stripling in that trade, too, out of nowhere.
Might be right.
Oh yeah.
So this trade, I think, was...
Oh, we traded a lot that
We
year.
did.
That was the year where we went off on the
nonstop.
trades.
So this
bro.
one, I believe, was you gave me Josh Bell, Yasmani Grandal, and I think it was Paul DeYoung. Paul DeYoung might have been part of a different trade. And I gave you Paul Goldschmidt, who had a down year, and Madison Bumgarner, I think was the other guy in that deal.
Wow.
Josh Bell had a fantastic year.
Wow.
He did.
Yeah.
Well, what was
And
what
Paul
did he end up being,
Goldschmidt
like,
had the
top
only
20?
down year of his year. I think at one point he was like top 5.
Yeah, he
He
was.
was
I remember.
for a month or two. He was phenomenal.
I know
Wow.
you guys have looked at Josh Bell stats recently,
me.
but I have not. So
Audio is terrible, says Jason Teal.
It's probably the echo back. Yeah, 'cause we have 2 mics now, guys.
sorry about that.
Guys, sorry. There's nothing we can really do about it. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, well,
Any
so
more
everyone
questions,
can see
folks?
Josh Bell's OPS that year. 936. Wow.
For what? Josh Bell, 936.
Yeah. 94
Ooh.
runs, 116 RBIs, 37 home runs, 936 OPS.
Wow.
I did pretty good in that trade.
Yeah. There's a few trades that year.
And that was Goldschmidt.
I think it could be fun right now that we're done the really tough month, of opening baseball, to take a look at maybe the next month, now that we're almost getting to June. Can we take a look at the calendar and predict what it is that we're going to do here?
Okay, another one of these.
Yeah.
All right, give me uno momento to pull this up.
Is someone's phone on? Audio's weird. I mean, all our phones are on. But I don't know how.
I could take off the Wi-Fi and stuff.
No, it's nothing to do with the internet. It's a wired connection.
Yeah, well, you know, Adam. Sometimes you just gotta humor me with these. Okay, so pulling up the schedule right now. By the way, buy your tickets for the 17th.
Oh, Pat, you put the Patreon thing up.
Oh, I'm sorry. What button is that?
Good question.
Either
comma or colon.
Comma or
no, I can't see it from here. Oh, there you go. You got it.
Much better.
Sweet.
Okay, so for June, I'll let you guys see it as well.
Yeah, let's take a look.
We have White Sox on June 1st, which I think we're also going to that game. Am I the only one going to the game, or are you guys going to that one too?
I feel like I don't have tickets. I feel like I don't have tickets to that game.
So we got. Let me tilt this a little bit so you guys can kind of see here.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
So we got White Sox for 2 games. We got the Twins for 3. Then we got KC on the road, Detroit on the road, back at home against Baltimore and the Yankees, on the road against the White Sox, and Brewers back home against the Red Sox.
This would be so much nicer if the Twins were bad at baseball, which they're not anymore.
It'd be nice if they were all bad at baseball.
That would also be really good, you know. And now, you know, it also sucks, and we don't know how they're going to be doing in, you know, come that time, because it's a month away. Now that the Boston Red Sox are good at baseball again, that kind of sucks too.
Here, Pat, press 3 real quick, just so they can see it. Hang it.
There's a lot of teams here that should be worse than they are, I think, and they're not.
No, yeah. Well.
I mean, yeah, I feel like it's crazy that we're finally going to face the Orioles for the first time mid-June. And it's at home. 4 games. Tigers were going to do well. Kansas City were going to do well. Yeah, and Twins are going to be better. But, yeah, that little week in there, that like 10 games right there. Yeah, 10 games. That's going to be nice. That's where we should pick up W's and try and get back in the fight.
We got to pick up like 8.
Yeah, if we can pick up 8 out of 10, and then this is the big key. We're at home with the Yankees. If we can beat them, we might have a shot to like really close the gap between us and the Yankees.
Yeah,
because it depends on who the Yankees face. But,
totally.
You know what I mean?
Obviously, that isn't like we can't be squandering away wins to Detroit and Baltimore and Kansas City and stuff. Like we watched the Yankees crush them.
Okay, I did the math in my head.
Yeah, what were you saying?
I had 15 and 12.
15 and 12 is what you think that we're going to do in that period of time? Okay, let me go through
let me go through 2.
1-1, let's say 3 and 2, let's say 5 and 3, let's say 7 and 4, let's say 10 and 5, let's say 11 and 7, 12 and 9. 14 and 10. Oh, I got the numbers.
Okay, I've got 16 and how many games were there? 28? So 16 and 12.
16 and 12. Sorry, I said 15 and 12. 16 and 12.
Okay, that's what I'm saying.
Okay, is that enough? Is that enough wins in this month of
Probably
June?
not enough to breach the gap.
No. We'd have to sweep a couple. Like we're gonna have to sweep because I didn't have in this math like sweeping Kansas, sweeping Detroit, sweeping the Orioles. We gotta sweep those guys. We gotta sweep some other teams. Like,
or like if you're gonna lose there, then you gotta win all the games at home against your division rivals, basically.
Yeah.
Win all the home games.
Wow.
We're very lucky that the home games are all against our division.
Damn, it's so hard to like bridge the gap, man. Cause
it takes a long time.
You actually have to sweep.
I mean, like literally last night, Ryan was telling us, our buddy Ryan, who doesn't watch baseball, he's like, baseball doesn't make sense. You can't really watch it because if you lose 4 games, is that the end of the season? Well, if you lose 4 games in a row, you're in a hole now. And like, think how hard it is. Now you got to climb out of this hole, and like, unless you're elite and win like 10 in a row, and that's how you get out of the friggin' hole, guys. Is if you win if you want a win streak. But like, if you're playing regular baseball, man, you have to grind. You got to grind.
All I'm taking away from this schedule is how many damn giveaways there are. Holy smokes, eh?
Yeah, we're going to a lot of. Also, guys, this is a good time to shout out the June 17th game. We're facing the Yankees at home.
Right
Us three and a few others. We're going to be watching the game. So if you haven't bought your tickets already, buy the tickets right there that Pat's showing.
Yeah, how many of us are going to that game? So us three. I think Dylan's going to that game.
Dylan's going to the game.
Anyone else coming to that one?
Is Victoria coming to the game?
What game? What?
The 17th.
The 17th, the fan subscriber night.
No, I think it's just us.
Just us four.
Just us four, yeah.
And everyone else.
The team will be here. The team. So
I think I read a DM on Instagram that said, I think we're row 4 or 5. Our row is sold out, but like, it doesn't matter, guys. Like, sit anywhere in this section.
Yeah, sit anywhere near there. Someone messaged me being like, "Oh yeah, it was all sold. Row 4 is sold out our row, but like, sit anywhere." Like,
yeah, like we'll be there early. Like we do want to get the giveaway. We'll be there an hour, like probably when gates open, and we'll talk to you guys.
Yeah, I'll go grab a beer real quick, and then I'll come sit and chat with you.
We'll go grab 2 beers real quick.
The dollar bears. Yeah.
Dollar beers.
$5 beers. $5.50.
Loony beer nights.
Beer nights?
You guys ever hear the story of that? That one time they did Looney beers.
Really?
Was it Cleveland? Where was it?
It was in the 80s or something. I think it was in Cleveland. Yeah, they tried it and just they did it for, I think it was one series at home. They did it, and then they realized we cannot do this anymore. Like
there was like a riot on the field.
Yeah,
like there was like ridiculousness.
They did it for a few games and it was just like holy shit. Like this all went to crap.
Like I apologize if it wasn't Cleveland, but they were like,
I'm pretty sure
Cleveland can't handle this. We made a mistake.
Well, we wouldn't be able to handle it.
No, not
I
at
don't think
all.
anybody
No one would.
Even with inflation, if it was like $3 beers or something,
Oh my
like
God.
that would still be
Dude,
insanity.
People who don't watch the Blue Jays would be like, "Yo, you hear about this $3 beer night?"
Yeah,
like
because
Six
that's-
Buzz would pick it up.
You
They're
can't
like,
find a
"Keep
bar
promoting
in the
that."
city that would have that. Like, yeah.
Like you go there to pre for the club.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
Yeah, for real. Dude, literally, I could drink an 8-pack for fucking, if it was $3.
See around the same that you'd pay at the LCBO.
Yep,
And
that's
you
right.
also watch the Blue Jays.
That's right.
You know?
I'm down.
I think
I like it.
legally they can't sell you beer under a certain price. Like it has to be a little bit more than the LCBO offers, just legally.
Yeah,
But yeah,
that's true. You also, Susanna's going. Row 527, our row 11. You have to come over to our section, Susanna, and say hi. Susanna's a Patreon member, so shout out Susanna.
Patrick Garrett says that he's gonna bring the wifey. Let's go.
Hey!
Let's get all the people out.
we should
man.
get some signs going, some Blue Jays Today signs or something.
should,
Yeah.
Yo, guys, make signs.
We should get someone to bring the K's. One of you guys has to bring the K's as well.
Oh, we get the
Yeah.
K's going?
If anyone's sitting front row, get
Should
the
we all
K's
wear
going.
a specific color or something, or like what should we do?
I mean, I was gonna wear my jersey.
I was
but-
gonna wear a jersey.
Oh, we could. That's not a bad idea.
Yeah, like we could wear the jersey.
May I suggest the color blue?
Oh, that would be a good color.
Bold, I know. It's an interesting idea. It's
Oh
gonna
my
be such a
God.
good day.
That'll be so much fun. We're so excited to meet you guys. Like we've seen a few of you already in person, and this will just be awesome too. That we're all arranging it.
We should get a big team picture of everyone. Too.
Oh hell yeah! Right before the
Right
game.
before the
That's like
game,
the
yeah.
only time we're gonna be able to do it.
Yeah.
I'll get a picture.
Yeah, for sure, definitely. Sounds like the good vibes.
All right.
Anything else you guys want to ask us before we hop off? Or any questions that you guys, prompts that you're thinking of, Patrick? Adam?
I was gonna see if you guys wanted to talk about the juiced balls and was it the Reds game, that 20-5?
Oh,
Like that was
yeah.
insanity. Like
I hate
what are
them.
they doing with
You
this?
either okay. So my question is, are they the balls from the past, like the same balls from the past, or are they extra juice?
They're
Or
extra
these-
juice,
They're
yeah.
extra juice. Is that what I'm?
Like I want to get a hold of one of these
know.
baseballs and see if they're like squishy or something. They're
No,
just,
no.
like-
I think it has to do with the material that's put
Yeah.
inside.
They're
Like
just
some are
cork
more
center,
fucking
yeah.
bouncy than the other. But for me, it's like, okay, if they're the balls of the past, like if every game is going to be 20-6, which if they weren't, then like, okay, yeah, maybe deaden them a little bit because that's too many runs.
Because you brought it up. Every time there's only one game, if
Yeah.
it's a primetime, like Sunday night baseball, right? Primetime matchups,
Yeah.
or any days where there's only like 1 or 2 games on,
Yeah.
seems to be when they want to throw them out there.
it just doesn't make. You're changing the game.
It doesn't make sense.
Like think about it in football. If they just deflated the football just for the prime time games.
I mean,
doesn't make sense.
It's the stupidest thing in the world. Like everybody's stats get skewed.
We gotta start using this to our advantage and betting on those games, betting the overs.
It does make sense. Like, it does make sense.
It's just you're impacting the game, and it's just it doesn't feel right with me.
No, you need to have a universal thing.
Yeah,
you have to or just come out and say, hey guys, every Sunday night balls are juiced, get ready. Like then that would be like, okay, now this is kind of fun. Everyone knows what to expect.
Right, but I still feel wrong about it.
Like I hear what you're saying, but it also
imagine you're pitching that day.
Yeah,
I'm like, okay, I'm screwed. There goes me, right?
I mean,
arm tightness. I can't do it today, coach.
Yeah, right.
Like I've always been of the mentality as well. I'm like, I know that this is never going to change. I've always thought that they need to have same ballpark lengths as well. That's my opinion, because it's like it just doesn't make sense to me that if you're in Yankee Stadium, you
no, it doesn't. But like that's a little bit different.
Yeah. I hear exactly what you're saying, like, but you're right. It's never gonna change it's just like that's the beauty of baseball.
Yeah, it's the uniqueness of like,
right?
Each ballpark is different.
It's like a new map.
Yeah,
right.
It's just like it's so stupid to me because like you just have way like your odds of winning MVP goes up when you're a Yankee.
If you're like a batter, right?
You're gonna hit better. Like and your odds of winning Cy Young go down if you're a Yankee.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like it's just that's the fucking game. It's like,
exactly. Which I get that, and again, it's been like this for over 100 years, so it's like it never will change. But I like it just because it's like again it's a new map. I think of it that way, like a video game. It's like we're going to Fenway, like this is this map, like the wall,
like playing on Rust versus
we're playing on Rust
Terminal,
and then like Wasteland is like fucking Kansas City. It's like
I said I'm gonna get it. Did you hear about that Modern Warfare 2? They're just redoing.
Oh yeah,
man. They're going back to the good old days.
Yeah, so Del Kerman said they talked about raising the seam slightly to create a bit more drag. That's another interesting thing. I haven't heard of any pitchers getting blisters this year, so they might have accomplished at least one thing.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right about that.
I mean, because that was really tough.
That was a problem.
Back in the day. Remember Aaron Sanchez, man?
Constantly getting blisters.
That was
so
such
many guys
a buzzkill, man. Like, so you win some, you lose some, I guess, on that front. But in terms of the dingers, we want more dingers.
Yeah, I definitely want more dingers.
I was thinking back to that Simpsons quote, Mark McGuire. You ever watch that episode, the baseball episode of The Simpsons?
No.
Where, like, I can't remember who it is. Like,
Sammy Sosa? It was two of them, Mark McGuire and Sammy Sosa.
No. Like, Sammy Sosa wasn't in this episode. It was just Mark McGuire. But basically, it was like Lisa or something saying, like, we know, blah, 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 all this corruption. He's like, do you want to know the real truth about baseball? Or do you want to see me hit some dingers? They're like, dingers. Like, that's just the truth of the matter,
dude,
man. Like,
everyone loved the dingers, and they all knew, like, okay, well, like, look at this guy's fucking, like, upper body, like,
that's not
he's
normal.
juicing.
Yeah.
But everyone's like, hey, I want to see him hit 70 homers. You know?
And he did.
And he did. 72, baby. That's the record. Never going to be beat because fucking dead in balls and no more juicing. Ugh. Back in my day, that's what we used to do. Now it's all these rules.
No one built like Frank Thomas anymore, eh?
No, Barry Bonds, Sammy Sosa, Mark McGuire. No more juicing.
Also, pitchers are just better.
Yeah. Pitchers are better now.
So.
Also, did those guys get injured the same way guys that get injured this time around?
They took steroids, bro, so no.
That's true.
You know, they're literally taking
You don't.
a thing that's like, you don't get injured, you are a tank.
Like, oh, this is a rip. I'm just going to zoom. Just
yeah. All right.
Funny, man.
All right, guys. Hey, Pat. I didn't tell you this part in the pre-warm-up, but or the pre-warm-up, yeah, to the show. Hit the comma, please, and play our outro music.
We can't hear him.
I can't hear it, but I hope you guys can hear it.
All right, well, I hope you
I
guys
hope you
can
can hear it.
Everybody, thanks so much for tuning in for the Wine Unwind, hanging out, talking ball, the whole shebang. We're going to be live, not tonight, but on Sunday to watch that game, and then also go live for a Blue Jays Today show. Might have some stuff, some clips going out for tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. Some shorts and an all-on-one as well. Tons of new content, a lot of trade stuff coming up too, because obviously the Blue Jays have got to make some improvements. We're not perfect. So you comment down below who you think we should trade for, some rumors, we'll get to them.
I also wanted to shout out here real quick. If we upload 2 clips tomorrow, and then we go live for a game, and then our Blue Jays Today show will be number 1,000. Our number 1,000 video that we've uploaded on this channel. So I just want to give ourselves a little pat on the back. Like, that's crazy to me. Number 1,000. So,
woo!
Last thing to bring up, I don't know if everyone is aware of this. I was not aware until Adam told me. You can't watch the game tonight unless you have Apple TV.
You gotta have Apple
Or,
TV.
God forbid, you stream illegally.
Oh, stream illegally, everybody. That's how you watch the Blue Jays.
Anyways, guys, thanks